Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. Welcome to you all. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, Sri Aurobindo on India. The things we are going to discuss only on the light of Sri Aurobindo and Mother's writing. Mostly today's topic, mostly from Sri Aurobindo and something from the Mother's writing. Before independence, while writing his Three Madness, Sri Aurobindo tried to express his view on India. My third folly is that others look upon this country as the mass of matter, number of fields, plains, forests, mountains and rivers. People think this is a country. It actually constitutes plains, forests, mountains and rivers, nothing more. But for me, so far Sri Aurobindo is concerned, his experience is, he is expressing his intention. I look upon her, India, as my mother. I worship and adore her. And then, before independence, that time, Sri Aurobindo's feeling and adoration towards the mother, his thought was like this. What would a son do when he sees the demon sitting upon the mother's chest, drinking her life blood? Would he sit down quietly and have his meals and enjoy himself? Or would he rather run to his mother's rescue? This is the view of the mother. He came to rescue, to save the mother India, to glorify the unglorified dignity, the hidden reality of mother India. Now itself we are going to discuss couple of his messages which will glorify his view on the mother India. First, Mother India is not a piece of earth. She is a power, a Godhead. Initially, while we were discussing upon the others think it is actually a mountain, river, plain, something like this. But Sri Aurobindo feels this is Mother India, not a patch of land. Mother India is not a piece of earth. She is the power, the Godhead. She is a power, a Godhead. There is a greater power at work to help India. India is never unhelped. It has got its potencies. The powers, the forces are there acting, are at work. A great power is at work to help India. Next version is there. A vast inner and outer progress is needed if you want to fulfill India's true destiny. India's true destiny, it will be the guru of the world, rather a spiritual guru of the world. India has the potency, it is destined. India will lead the world. It was predicted, it was actually foreseen by Sri Aurobindo centuries back. Almost a century long back, it was discussed, and now itself it is going to be materialized. A vast inner and outer progress is necessary if we want to fulfill India's true destiny. India's true destiny, if it has to be fulfilled, and we will come forward, we will have a inner and outer progress that will be helpful in the India's progress and it's reaching the India's true destiny. Next one. The world waits for the rising of India. Not only this Asia or not only people of us, we are yet to recognize the mother's greatness, the India's greatness. Sri Aurobindo predicts he could be able to see in his vision. He was actually determined to see the things he feels. The world awaits for the rising of India to receive the divine flood in its fullness. Now itself, see, there was a survey recently, now it's among the world leaders, Modi is coming to the first and forefront. This vaccination, for this vaccination, the world is awaiting for this vaccine to be rescued, to save their lives. During the corona, India actually helped around 150 to 200 countries, giving whatever possible help they required. So, Sri Aurobindo feels the world awaits for the rising of India to receive the divine flood in its fullness. They are awaiting, and India has to progress. This is the necessary for us to manifest, to collaborate in this India's progress, India's rising. Another is there, ours is the eternal land. This India where we are saying this, it is an eternal land. Eternal, it was there initially, now itself it will also stay there. Though mother says India is a protected land, the land of Sri Aurobindo. Ours is the eternal land, the eternal people, the eternal religion whose strength, greatness, holiness may be overclouded, but never, even for a moment, utterly erased. Now itself we have forgotten. We have been clouded, overclouded. We are in obscurity. So naturally we can't be able to see or find strength, greatness and holiness which is overclouded right now. Stir in the fields, it even for a moment, it will never cease utterly. This is glory, it is actually truth, morning sun, day, sunlight as it is true. So all these things are India's greatness, you also say, right? So she wants to say, ours is the eternal land, our people are eternal, eternal people, and the eternal religion, his strength, greatness, holiness are maybe overclouded, but actually it will never cease. It will never cease. It is actually very much alive, very much living. Very interestingly, Sri Aurobindo observes the hero, the rishi, the saint. Again I am repeating, the hero, the rishi, the saint are natural fruits of Indian soul, of our Indian soul. Nowhere it will be found. This the soul of India, natural fruits of our Indian soul is this hero, soul, rishis and saints. And there has been no urge in which they have been not born. All are born. India is the chosen land. India is the divine land. India is chosen by the divine to manifest here. It will never be forbidden. Nobody can actually deny it is a great truth. We should not forget it. India has always existed for humanity, not for itself alone, not in obscurity. India has always existed for humanity and not for herself. India has never existed for herself. It has already, every time, everywhere, any time, it is existing for humanity. And it is for the humanity and not for herself. She must be great. This humanity, one day they will recognize this greatness, they will salute it, and with them she must be great. India must be great. India is rising to set the eternal light exhausted to her over the world. This spiritual light, it is exhausted. Now, once upon a time, we can remember the proverb, when West was flourishing with matter, they were actually lacking the spirit. That time, India was flourishing with spirit, but lacking matter. So, Sri Aurobindo, mother felt there should be a combination, both should be exist there. In West it is matter, no spirituality. Here only spirituality, they are lacking matter. If that matter and spirituality and matter, they actually come together, they will be forged, they will be formed in a body. So this suffering, this pain, this obscurity, this ignorance, it will vanish forever. India is rising to set the eternal light exhausted to her over the world. That is exhausted. Now India is rising. It will set the eternal light. If we are to live in Atal, another very important precaution, important caution Sri Aurobindo speaks of. If we are to live Atal, we must resume India's great interrupted endeavors. Endeavors we must resume. This is the high time. This is we have to fulfill, and the goal we have to proceed step by step. It is because God has chosen to manifest Himself. Before some time we were discussing in a very loud manner, in a very glorified manner. It is because God has chosen to manifest Himself in the place of in this land of India, and entered into the hearts of these people where we are staying. We are actually privileged people. We are blessed people to see this, to feel the gods are choosing and coming to take birth in the land of India. That we are rising again as a nation. So this my caution, we have to remember, we have to follow, and we have to step forward towards this greatness. How to keep up this greatness, how to manifest His divine glory and glamour. The spiritual gift of India to the world has already begun. Now itself, this June 21st, it is actually this yoga day, International Yoga Day, it has been celebrated. Now itself, the spiritual gift of India to the world has already begun. People feel there is actually one hidden glory inside, in the nook and corner of the lands of India, is the people of India. They are trying to come forward to recognize it. They are coming for research works. They are coming to actually get mingled, get to make some research work, to see the manifestation, to reveal, to see the revealings, to find the unfoldings of the divine in the land of India. The spiritual gift of India to the world has already begun. The light which led to the freedom, though not at not yet to unity, still burns and will burn till it conquers. That light is now itself we see very dim state, but it is burning. It will burn and burn and burn. It will see that flame will flourish, and it will go upward naturally. It will lead us to freedom. We will get our true freedom, not the freedom in pen and paper. True freedom, spirit's freedom, our own freedom, our freedom, spirit's greatness we will achieve at last. It is the East that must conquer with the India's rising. Two provinces we know, one is East and another is West. Sri Aurobindo speaks of here, it is first spoke of mankind, then West, then East, then universe. Now he is emphasizing the people of this East. They must come to collaborate. They must identify the India's greatness, and with the Indians rising, these East people also, they will try to grow and ascend to the upper level. Couple of messages of Mother on India we will try to see. India has become the symbolic representation of all difficulties of modern mankind. India has become the symbolic representation of all difficulties, entire difficulties. It is coming through India. India is the symbolizing or symbolically representing all difficulties of the modern world, mankind. India will be the land of resurrection, the resurrection to a higher and a true life. Secondly, Mother speaks of India will be the land of its resurrection, the resurrection to a higher and a truer life. Then, true spirituality is not to renounce life, but to make life perfect with a divine perfection. Sri Mother says, true spirituality is not to renounce life, not to reject anything, but to make life perfect with a divine perfection. Perfect with the divine perfection, that is the true spirituality Mother emphasizes. This is what India must show to the world now. People who are actually floating on the surface, who are actually accepting the surface or appearances, living on the appearances, they must be able to know through India that true spirituality is not to renounce life, but to make the life with a divine perfection. We have seen on the India got its independence on 15th August, that is Sri Aurobindo's birthday. That day Sri Aurobindo announced, I am happy that I have it is a collaboration, in my birthday India's freedom has come. But actually for this gift I am happy, but this gift came in two packets. One is India and another is Pakistan. And further, in one or two steps he has risen up to say, I don't see the existence of Pakistan. What Pakistan stands for, India will be reunited. Like this we are going. The present reality is a big falsehood hiding on eternal truth. So India's true destiny is to be the Guru of the world.